Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the pre-bid conference of One Consulting Services. So to start, may I introduce you to the members of the BAC. Our BAC Chairman, General Arturo Precoce, our BAC Vice Chairman, Attorney Mary Rose Milo, and BAC Member, Engineer Willard Vincent. We have also here member of the Technical Working Group, Engineer Kennedy De Guzman, and for the Secretariat of Student Salinas and our IT support, Sir Bon Calvin. Sir, majority of the BAC members are present. There's a quorum, sir.
Here and good afternoon, as mentioned, there is a lot of the pre-bid conference for the day is now both for
So we have the pre-bid conference for 25 CSA 059, a consultancy of site-specific analysis of bridge design for the following projects: construction of 5 barangays, Bagut, Mandaloque, San Esteban, Sagpatan, and San Marcos, Bamasesamar, Dingras, Ilocos, Norte. Construction of bridge connecting Barangay Pangapisan Norte and Barangay Capandanan, Lingayen, Pangasinan.
Pre-bid conference. The pre-bid conference shall be held at least 12 calendar days before the deadline for the submission and receipt of bids, but not earlier than 7 calendar days from the PhilJob's posting of the invitation to bid or bidding documents. The pre-bid conference shall discuss, clarify, and explain, among other things, the eligibility requirements and the technical and financial components of the procurement project, including questions and clarifications raised by the prospective bidders before and during the pre-bid conference. Request for clarifications on any part of the bidding documents or for an interpretation must be in writing and submitted to the back of the procuring entity concerned at least 10 calendar days before the deadline set for the submission and receipt of bids. The BAC shall respond to the said request by issuing a bid bulletin, duly signed by the BAC chairperson, to be made available to all those who have properly secured the bidding documents at least 7 calendar days before the deadline for the submission and receipt of bids. For purpose of clarifying and modifying any provisions of the bidding documents, bid bulletins may be issued upon the procuring entity's initiative at least 7 calendar days before the deadline for the submission and receipt of bids. Any modification to the bidding documents shall be identified as an amendment. Any bid bulletin issued by the BAC shall also be posted in the PhilJobs in any conspicuous place in the premises of the procuring entity and on the website or social platforms of the procuring entity if available, or such other channels as may be authorized by the GPPB. It shall be the responsibility of all those who have properly secured the bidding documents to inquire and secure bid bulletins that may be issued by the BAC. However, bidders who have submitted bids before the issuance of the bid bulletin must be informed and allowed to modify or withdraw their bids in accordance with the Section 55 of this IRR, Section 51.5.3 of IRR of Republic Act 12009.
The contract data for 25 CSA 059, location Dingras, Ilocos, Norte, and Lingayen, Pangasinan. The funding source FY 2025 RA 11116, extended regular 2025 continuing with the ABC of 9 million, and the scope works conduct the following activities: seismic hazard analysis, share with velocity test, capacity development and transfer knowledge, with a contract duration of 90 calendar days. Share the documents comprising the bid, technical proposal. While preparing the technical proposal, consultants must give particular attention to the following. The technical proposal shall not include any financial information. Any technical proposal containing financial information shall be declared non-responsive. For projects on a staff time basis, the estimated number of professional staff months specified in the bid data sheet shall be complied with. Bid shall, however, be based on the number of professional staff months estimated by the bidder. Proposed professional staff must attain a minimum of the experience indicated in the bid data sheet, preferably working under conditions similar to those prevailing in the Republic of the Philippines. No alternative professional staff shall be proposed, and only one curriculum vitae may be submitted for each position. The technical proposal shall contain the following information documents. Technical proposal submission form shall be the cover letter of the technical proposal using the form prescribed in Section 7. PBD related forms, DPF1. Builder's certificate of registration, platinum membership, in accordance with Section 20 of the IRR. Main security as prescribed in ITB Clause 16, and validity period under ITB Clause 15. Documents comprising the bid, technical proposal, information indicated in the paragraphs below must be provided by the consultant and each partner. Any following the formats described in technical proposal forms: a brief description of the organization, an outline of recent experience of the consultant and each partner, if any, on projects of a similar and related nature as required in Form DPF2. Consultants' references for each project. The outline should indicate, among other things, the project, contract amount, and the consultant's involvement. Information should be provided only for those projects for which the consultant was legally contracted by itself or as one of the major participating consultants within an association. Whenever applicable, the experience of individual experts from projects completed independently or when associated with consultants other than the one with whom the individual is currently associated with cannot be claimed as the experience of the current consultant or any one of its partners, but can be claimed by the individuals themselves in their curriculum vitae. Consultants should be prepared to substantiate the claimed experience, if so requested, by the procuring entity. Comments, if any, on the ETOR, DPF3, comments and suggestions of consultant on the terms of reference and on data, services, and facilities to improve performance in carrying out the project. Innovativeness shall be appreciated, including workable suggestions that could improve the quality of or effectiveness of the project. In this regard, unless the consultant clearly states otherwise, it shall be assumed by the procuring entity that the work required to implement any such improvements is included in the inputs shown on the consultant's staffing schedule. If it shall include a list of facilities requested by the consultant to be provided by the procuring entity, if any, in addition to those shown on the data sheet that may include support facilities such as counterpart staff, office space, local transportation, equipment, domestic administrative support, etc., that would be needed to carry out the project. A concise, complete, and logical description of how the consultant's team shall came out to serve business to meet all requirements. Of the TOR using the DPF4 description of the methodology and work done for performing the project. An organization chart of the key and support staff indicating their tasks in the project using DPF5, team composition and tasks. The name, age, nationality, background, employment record, and professional experience of each nominated expert, including ongoing projects, with particular reference to the type of experience required for the task assigned, should be presented in the CV format shown in TPF6. Format of curriculum vitae for proposed professional staff, only one duly authorized CV for each consultant involved in the project may be submitted for each position. The procuring entity requires that each expert confirm that the content of each CV is correct, and the experts themselves should sign the verification of the curriculum vitae. In addition, the expert should submit a signed written commitment stating that the expert shall work for the project once awarded the contract. A 0 rating shall be given to a nominated expert if the expert is proposed for a domestic position but is not a Filipino citizen. Failed to state nationality on the curriculum vitae or the curriculum vitae is not signed in accordance with the paragraph above. A time schedule, TPF7 time schedule for professional personnel indicating clearly the estimated duration in terms of personal months shown separately for work in the field and in the home office, and the proposed timing of each input for each nominated expert, including domestic experts, if required, using the format shown. The schedule shall also indicate when experts are working in the project office and when they are working at locations away from the project office. A work plan showing in a graphical format bar chart the timing of major activities, anticipated coordination meetings, and deliverables, such as reports required under DOR using PPFE, activity work schedule, omnibus short statement, and using the form prescribed in Section 7 Philippine Bidding Document. All information, documents comprising the bid, financial proposal, all information provided in the consultant's financial proposal shall be treated as confidential. The financial proposal must be submitted manually or through online submission using the format shown in the financial proposal forms. The financial proposal requires the completion of 6 forms, particularly FPF1, FPF2, FPF3, FPF4, 5, and 6. For FPF1, financial proposal submission form should form the covering letter of the financial proposal. Form FPF2, summary of cost. FPF3, breakdown of price per activity. FPF4, breakdown of remuneration per activity. FPF5, reimbursables per activity, and FPF6, miscellaneous expenses relate to the cost of consulting services under 2 distinct categories, namely remuneration and reimbursable expenditures. Remuneration is divided into billing rate estimates for international and domestic consultants. Reimbursable expenditures are divided into per time rates for international and domestic consultants and cost for other reimbursable expenditure items required to perform the consulting services. The list of experts and their respective inputs identified in financial proposal forms must match the list of experts and their respective inputs shown in technical proposal forms. The consultant shall be subject to Philippine taxes on amounts payable by the procuring entity under the contract proof mandated withholding by local tax authorities of specified percentages of such amounts or otherwise. The bid data sheet declares the taxes payable. The financial proposal should clearly estimate as a separate amount the local taxes, including social security, duties, fees, levies, and other charges imposed under the applicable law on the consultant and its personnel, other than the Philippine nationals or permanent residents of the Philippines. Unless otherwise provided in the bid data sheet, total calculated bid prices as evaluated and corrected for minor arithmetical corrections, such as computational errors which exceed the ABC shall not be considered. The evaluation of the technical proposal, the BAC shall then conduct a detailed evaluation of technical proposal for following the procedures specified in the bid data sheet, depending on the evaluation procedures identified in the request for expression of interest and item clause 1.1. The BAC evaluates the technical proposals on the basis of their compliance with the requirements under ITB Clause 12 and responsiveness to the TOR using the following criteria. Quality of personnel to be assigned to the project, experience and capability of consultant, plan of approach and methodology, with emphasis on the clarity, feasibility, innovativeness, and comprehensiveness of the plan of approach, and the quality of interpretation of project problems, risks, and suggested solutions. The BAC shall assign numerical weights and minimum required technical score of each of the above criteria, which shall be indicated in the bid data sheet. A bid shall be rejected at this stage if it does not respond to important aspects of the TOR or if it fails to achieve the minimum technical score indicated in the bid data sheet. Technical proposals shall not be considered for evaluation in any of the following cases: late submission, failure to submit any of the technical requirements provided under the ITB and TOR, the consultant that submitted a bid or the consultant that submitted a bid or any of its partners belongs to one of the conflict of interest cases as described in ITB Clause 5.1A, and failed to make a proper statement to the effect the cover letter or the technical proposal included in any cost of the service. Opening and evaluation of financial proposals. Financial proposals shall be opened on the date indicated in the data sheet. The financial proposal open shall be evaluated based on the evaluation procedure indicated in ITB Clause 1.1 using the corresponding procedure provided in the bid data sheet. So the evaluation for this project is quality cost-based evaluation. The following processes for the opening and evaluation of bids shall be adopted. The technical proposal together with the financial proposal shall be considered in the ranking of consultants. The technical proposal shall be evaluated first using the criteria in ITB Clause 26.2. The financial proposal of consultant to meet the minimum technical score shall then be offered. The financial and technical proposal shall be given corresponding weights, with the financial proposal given a minimum weight of 15%, the maximum of 40%. The weight of the technical criteria shall be adjusted accordingly such that their total weight in percent together with the weight given to the financial proposal shall add to 100%. The exact weight shall be approved by the HOPE upon the recommendation of the BAC and indicated in the bidding documents. The BAC shall rank the consultants in descending order based on the combined numerical ratings of their technical and financial proposals and identify the HRB. The HOPE shall approve or disapprove the recommendation of the bank within 2 calendar days after receipt of the results of the evaluation from the bank. After approval by the hope of the HRB, the bank shall within 3 calendar days notify and invite the consultant with the HRB for negotiation in accordance with item clause 20. For the opening and evaluation of financial proposals shall be opened on the date indicated in the bid data sheet. The financial proposals open shall be evaluated based on the evaluation procedure indicated in ITB clause 1.1 using the corresponding procedure provided in the bid data sheet. Next, we have the negotiations. Negotiations with the consultant that submitted the HRB shall be held at the address indicated in the bid data sheet. The aim is to reach agreement on all points. Negotiations shall cover the following: discussion and clarification of DOR, scope of services, discussion and finalization of the methodology and work program proposed by the consultant, consideration of appropriateness of qualifications and pertinent compensation, number of months and the personnel to be assigned to the job, taking note of overqualified personnel to be commensurate with the compensation of personnel with the appropriate qualifications, number of months and schedule of activities. We have the money schedule, discussion of the services, facilities and data, any to be provided by procuring entity concerned, unless otherwise indicated in the bid data sheet, discussion of the financial proposal submitted by the consultant and provision of the contract. Except for meritorious reasons, negotiations with the consultant shall be completed within 10 calendar days. For the post-qualification, the bank shall determine to its satisfaction whether the consultant that is evaluated is having submitted the HRB complies with and is responsive to all the requirements and conditions specified in shortlisting documents and ITB clause 12 and 13. The consultant within 5 calendar days on the receipt of notice from the bank that submitted the HRB shall submit all the eligibility documents supporting its PhilJEP's certificate of registration. Its latest income and business tax returns filed for the preceding quarter, which should not be earlier than 2 quarters from the date of submission and receipt of bid, and other appropriate licenses and permits required by law and stated in the bid data sheet. Failure to submit any of the post-qualification requirements on time or a finding against the veracity thereof shall disqualify the consultant for award, provided that in the event that the finding against the veracity of any of the documents submitted is made, shall cause the forfeiture of the bid security. During post-qualification, the bank shall verify and validate the veracity, authenticity, and validity of all of the eligibility documents supporting the PhilJEP's certificate of registration, platinum membership, and all of the other statements made and documents submitted by the consultant with the HRB using non-discretionary criteria as stated in the bidding documents. The termination shall be based upon an examination of the documentary evidence of the consultant's qualification submitted pursuant to ITB clause 12 and 13, as well as other information as the procuring entity deems necessary and appropriate, using a discretionary pass-fail criteria, which shall be completed within a period of 12 calendar days from the completion of the negotiation with the consultant that submitted the HRB. In the exceptional cases, the post-qualification period may be extended by the hope, but in no case shall it exceed 30 calendar days. If the BAC determines that the consultant with the HRB passes all the criteria for cost quantification, shall declare the said bid as the consultant with the HRRB and recommend to the hope the award or contract to the said bidder at the bid price or its negotiated price, whichever is lower and subject to compliance with ITB Clause 31.3. For the form of bid security, the bid validity period and bid security validity period is 120 calendar days from the date of submission of bids. The form of bid security, we have cash or cashier's manager's check, 2% of the ABC. Bank draft for guarantee, 5% of the ABC. Surety bond, 5%. For the bid security declaration, not applicable. For the contract award, subject to ITB Clause 29, the ROP or its authorized representative shall award the contract to the consultant whose bid has been determined to be the HRRT. Prior to the expiration of the period of bid validity, the procuring entity shall notify the successful consultant in writing that its bid has been accepted through a notice of award, duly received by the consultant or its authorized representative personally or by registered name or electronically received of which must be confirmed in writing within 2 days by the consultant with the HRRB and submitted personally or sent by registered mail or electronically to the procuring entity. Within 10 calendar days from the receipt of by the winning consultant notice of award, the following conditions should be complied with before the contract may be awarded. Submission of the following documents, valid joint venture agreement, if applicable, or certificate of registration of the foreign corporation, or the certificate of registration of the foreign consulting firm, and or the authorization or license issued with appropriate government agency. Posting of the performance security in accordance with ITB Clause 33, the signing of the contract is provided in ITB Clause 32. For the signing of the contract within 10 calendar days from the receipt of the notice of award, the winning consultant shall post the required performance security and sign and date the contract and return to the procuring entity. The following documents shall form part of the contract agreement, winning documents, the winning consultant's bid, including technical and financial proposals, and all other documents, statements submitted, performance security, notice of award of contract, and other contract documents that may be required by existing laws and or specified in the bid data sheet. The bidder's contractor shall provide any of the following documents before purchasing winning documents. We have the company ID, the authorization letter, and the letter of intent. Common errors in the submission of bids. Authority of the signatory to sign off bid on behalf of the bidder, single proprietor, signatorship with the owner proprietor only, corporation cooperative, board secretary certificate and board resolution, joint venture resolution or agreement, partnership as indicated in the articles of partnership. So for these consulting services, 25 CSA 059, the deadline for submission of clarification is 10 days before submission of bids. The dropping of bids, August 11, 2026 at 10 o'clock a.m. And the number of copies of the proposal, 1 original and 2 copies of the first and second components of its bid and soft copy, PDF format stored in any electronic device. The opening of bids, August 11, 2026 for the technical and August 17 for the financial. At 10 o'clock AM, Vincent Awards Committee, second floor. Conference room, DPWH Regional Office 1, Aguila Road, Barangay Sevilla, City of San Fernando, La Union. So that ends the presentation of the pre-bid conference for the one consulting services.
Thank you. Any comment? Okay, that's all for today. The pre-bid conference for one consultancy is now adjourned. Any more on our agenda? Okay. Thank you.